I'm gonna have a cupcake.
Oh, okay.
Let's go have a cupcake.
But I thought you just happened to wander out. Dude, cheers.
Do you actually know cheers? Just cheers, right? We're gonna toast these.
My most memorable experience about a dream or a nightmare is when I was between 7 or 9. I see my spirit unfolding from my body or splitting, and looking up at the ceiling, and I see these frescoes, and I try to get closer to them, and I don't recognize anything because I have never been in a museum or a gallery or a library to recognize any of that. And later I recognize them as being the Sistine Chapel. And then I'm floating into outer space, and I feel my fingertips. It's a horrible feeling because each of them are like the size of a planet. And I just cannot control that weird feeling that I want to wake up, but it's a horrible and at the same time marvelous feeling now that I think back.
I have dreams all the time that inspire my artwork. It's pretty much how I became creative. And one of the more recent dreams that I had was I woke up and in my mind I had this image of a woman standing completely naked, and she had a really nice round hiney. And the first thing I thought to myself was, how on earth am I going to paint that? I'm really going to paint that. And I'm usually pretty obedient to my dreams, and I painted her, and she turned out phenomenal, and that's how I came up with the idea for my work. It's called Feminine Oddities.
My girlfriend Elizabeth was having this recurring nightmare about a ghost that lived in her childhood dollhouse, which I actually had in a show here before. I had her dollhouse and I put some things in it, and she told me about this ghost, and so I made a little thing and it danced around, and that didn't seem to really exercise the problem of the recurring nightmares about the dollhouse. And it ended up in the basement after the show at the Hive. It ended up in my basement under the house, and she was still having dreams about it, so we said, you know, maybe we need to do a project under the house. We went down the basement, you know, the ceiling's like this, and we had to duck down, and she took all her clothes off, and we covered her in flour, and that was, I guess it was baby powder wasn't quite right, and then we did the flour. So we covered her in flour, and we took a lot of pictures under the house with the different lights and some neon, and I'm not sure that helped either, but it's always nice to have a naked girl under your house, covered in flour and baby powder, things like that.
What's up, guys? This is AKO. I'm a 25, almost 26-year-old San Francisco-based artist. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, where I've resided for my whole lifetime.
Another newer artist for the Hive. I've shown him a few times in the past and given him a good 6 months to put together a tall wall. He put up his tall wall in maybe 3 hours, and it's one of the sickest presentations I've ever seen. He covered every inch of that wall with art, found objects, paint.
I've been writing graffiti for almost 13 years now. It had its up and downs, but it's been fun. I hooked up with Nathan about a year and a half ago. I saw a lot of press on the Hive and got word of mouth through friends that they just got the good art stuff going on here. So I got involved, and me and Nathan connected, and we hit it off, man. I love the Hive. I come here and good vibe. It's the real stuff in art right now that's going on. These are people making art, making it happen. It's do it yourself. It's no corporate bullshit, no money, no funding. It's just people doing it for the love and the right reasons. And I work with galleries all over the world, from Australia to New York to San Francisco. And this is probably as real as it gets right here. Like, this is it. This is the movement. This is AKO, RTH, UPC, 2007, San Francisco to LA, man. Take care. Hive Gallery. Thanks to Nathan and everyone here for making it happen, man.
I feel a unique approach to the Dream of Little Dreams project here, and brought in 2 paintings that deal directly with dreams. The first kind of way is in the American dream. It's the the Mexican people immigrating to this country, and you know, through a barrage of helicopters and night vision lens, you can see them hiding and struggling to get in, and then once they get here, in the bottom part of the diptych is them laboring in the fields, and to them, you know, to us that's probably not work that we'd want to do, but to them it's an American dream. But I believe to this is also a larger part, and that's the government dream. And the government dream, I believe, is to have 20 million more people into the country, and maybe 40 million, or maybe more, maybe 100 million, because as we're going to engage in military conflicts around the world, I believe, and I think we all know, we don't have enough people to be in all the places that the U.S. government wants us. And I think that as they bring in more immigrants, and especially Hispanic immigrants who are very patriotic and join the military at unprecedented rates, I think that that's the big plan, is to pad the ranks. Thank you very much.
You know the nightmare that you wake up someplace and you're in your underwear? It happened to me. I was a kid on vacation. A group of us were in a hotel and totally jet lagged, and I'd never traveled before. And we all went to bed right after we got into the room because we were exhausted. And next thing I remember, I am on an elevator going up with 5 people who are standing off to the side, and I'm standing there, little tiny 9th grade kid in my tidy whities. And I couldn't remember my room number. So I looked at what floor we were at, and I pressed the button for the next floor, and I immediately got off and was just in sheer, utter panic. 1872, 1672. So I went to the wrong room twice. Sorry, wrong room. Finally had to go down to the lobby and ask the front desk, where am I staying, sir? Because I have no idea. So he said, yeah, you're in room 2072. And then, before he could say anything to that, I went right to the stairs, ran right up to the 20th floor, and knocked on the door. And it had been about 20 minutes, and I said to my friends, like, what happened? They said, yeah, you know, you just kind of got up out of bed, and you looked fine, and you looked awake, and you said, yeah, I'm just going to go outside for a minute. And we said, okay.
A recurring dream I had when I was a kid, I still have pieces of it, was, well, I actually started like in the waking world when I was walking the streets, and somebody gave me like a handout, like a religious handout, and it was to make a decision for Jesus. And it had a guy at a valley, and he had to make a decision to go across this valley, and Jesus was standing on the other side. But the dream that I had, it was Mickey Mouse standing on the other side, and he was beckoning me, like, come this way, come this way. And Mickey Mouse was really appealing to me as a kid, because when I'd go to sleep, I'd look at my bed sheets, and my bed sheets had different pictures of Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Goofy, you know, and they'd ease my mind. That way I wouldn't have to worry about the monsters that lived under my bed or in my closet or any of that. But the dream, when I started walking towards Mickey Mouse, he kind of turned really, really gnarly and really evil. Kind of, I was too young to know what rat fink was, but it kind of had that kind of look, but more devilish, more gnarly, and, you know, really, really freaky Mickey Mouse. And I kind of reached out for him to grab his hand and say, okay, Mickey, get me. Instead of getting me, he just kind of pulled back laughing, and I fell down the chasm, and I hit the ground. Now, people say when you hit the ground, you're supposed to die. I didn't die. I remember it hurting, like in my dream, saying, ow, this really hurts. And then just waking up. Needless to say, I got rid of the sheets eventually.
Just relax, a piece like battle line, slice facts, attacks with bastard sword grabs, I'm grinding, rewind the wine, double binding, long charms, and I said no mind, like battle line, slice facts, attacks with bastard sword grabs, I'm grinding, rewind the wine, and double binding, long charms, and